Hi, I'm Brittney. I'm here with Tim at Peterborough Iron and Metal. Today, he's going to explain to me what catalytic converters are.
Okay, Brittney, today we're going to look at different grades of cats.
Perfect.
Catalytic converters, we call them cats, call them converters.
Cat converters.
Okay, so do you know what they are?
Slightly. I know that they clean out the air in your vehicle, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay,
So
perfect.
every car from like 1976 and up has a cat on it. Some have more, some have one, some have 3, 4, just depends on the make, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so today we're going to show you different grades. So we'll just go ahead and grab one here. Let's just put this in here. So this is off a Ford. Okay.
And you just know?
I just know because, yeah, we've handled so many that it's just, you learn it, right? You just
That's
know.
crazy.
Right? So there's little tricks and secrets when you're buying them to figure out what they are. Like this actually says Ford on it, like right here. It's a little rusted, but there's a little Ford emblem there. So this is one that would be up on a manifold. See these bolts here? It would be mounted up like that on the car, right by the motor. Okay, now what makes these so valuable is what's on the inside. So if you actually look in there.
Oh, it's like a little grid thing.
Yeah, it's a honeycomb. We call it a biscuit, right?
A honeycomb or biscuit?
Yeah, so what that is it's a combination of different metals. So one being platinum,
Platinum.
rhodium,
Rhodium.
there's some stainless steel in there, and there's palladium in there.
Wow, really?
Okay,
There's
so
all that.
that's really good metals. Platinum right now is around $1,100 an ounce. Okay, so it's right up there with gold, right? So that's what makes it so valuable, right? So in the recycling, you want these. So what they'll do is they'll get busted open, and then the honeycomb will get grinded down and melted down and reused, right?
Really?
Yeah, no, we don't do any of that here. We just buy and sell them, right? But it's a very big market, and you can really learn a lot. So basically, I'll show you a different grade. So just go ahead and pick any one of these here, and I'll kind of tell you which one it's off.
There's just so many different types.
Walk around and pick any one you want.
I want this one over.
All right.
What is this big one?
What's that big one? That's a good question. So this is off an Acura. Okay. So when we're buying this is something that we would call as a Honda Sling. Okay. So it's big. It's got a sensor. Okay. So this is off what would be a V6 Acura.
Oh, okay.
So it's got the bigger motor. And it's got the bigger cat. This is a high dollar cat.
So if it was a V4 or V6 or V8, it's going to all be a different price?
Well, that's right. Well, yeah, because the size of the motor depends on the size of the cat, right? So the smaller motors, you're going to have a smaller cat, right? So typically the ones that you see the most of are like Fords and GMs and stuff. So this is off a Sunfire. Okay?
Sunfire.
Yeah, so this is just a regular GM cat, okay? And then as you see here, this is also off a GM. But this is off probably a Malibu, okay? So this is what's called a shortbread loaf. Okay? A shortbread loaf. That's what it's called. Yeah, see, it kind of looks like a loaf of bread, right? Doesn't it look like a loaf of bread? Okay, so this is a shortbread loaf, right? And then you get long bread loaves, which is what this is.
Oh,
so
that's so true, yeah.
Right? This one's a lot longer, right? So believe it or not, the shorter one is worth more than the longer one.
What? Why?
It's just because that's the way it is. I couldn't tell you why, that's just the way it is. There's more good stuff in this than there is in that.
That's crazy. I would have never thought that.
Right, and then you get ones like this, okay? So this is a Chrysler. Okay, so these typically you find on Caravans and Neons. Okay?
Whoa,
so this
really
one's
big.
off a Caravan, I can tell you right now, because where this sits is up on the motor. So this flex hose right here goes right up there like that, and that sits up there. So the motor's up here like this, and then this comes down to the exhaust like that.
Wow,
Right?
really?
Yeah. So this is what would be called as a special number 2. is what we
Special
call it.
number
So
2.
it's a medium grade Chrysler, right?
Oh, okay.
And then this here, this is the same thing, okay? But there's a little difference. The seal, this one has 4 lines on it.
Yeah?
See these 4 lines right here?
Oh, yeah?
So that's how you tell that this is a little bit better.
Why?
Just because there's more in it. So it's probably from a bigger motor. Right? It all depends on the motor, the year, where the car was made. There's different emission laws everywhere, right? So in Ontario, the emission laws are a little bit different than say in Texas, right? So if you have a vehicle coming from Texas that someone's driven up here and then they decide to scrap it, you're gonna have a better quality converter.
Really?
Right, because in Texas, obviously, it doesn't snow.
Right,
And you're
okay,
gonna
that's
see-
so true.
You see how a lot of these are rusted?
Yes, a lot of
Dirt,
them are.
the salt, stuff like that, right? So depending on where the cat is coming from, that's going to depend on what kind of quality materials because of the emission laws.
Wow, that's so interesting.
That's true. Like in Montreal, the emission laws aren't as strict as they are here.
Really?
You know, we have to do an emission test every 2 years type of thing. It's a lot different. You don't have to do it. You do it when you buy the car, and then you own the car. You don't ever have to do it again. So it's different no matter where you go, right?
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there's all kinds of different grades. We can show you a few more. We just walked around here.
Yeah, like you guys have like a lot of them. I can't believe this.
Yeah, there's a lot. So this is about just shy of a month
What?
of buying. Yeah, it's something that we do a lot of. I don't know exactly how many are here. There's probably around 900 here, if I had to guess.
That's
Right?
insane.
Yeah. So we buy them at the door. We get them off the vehicles in the car. Auto wreckers that bring them in here. We have customers that come with hundreds at a time.
Really?
Yep, and because we
That's
pay a lot
insane.
for them, and you got to remember some of these. I mean, just to give you an idea, just off the top of my head, like take this one here. This cat here, this is $100.
What?
Yeah, like if you brought this in, I'm gonna give you $100 for it.
What?
Just like that. Yeah, so it's a big market,
That's
right?
crazy.
And then, so here's an even better one, right? So this is off a Ford Windstar.
That one
And
looks so different.
so there's actually 2 of them. I don't know where the other one is, but there's 2 on a Ford Windstar that look like this, right? And this is a really good cat. That's $120.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, just like that, right? So,
These things are worth that much.
right, and that's and again, it's all because of the markets, right? So, like platinum being where it is right now, that's what they're worth, right? So, I mean, if platinum drops, then you're going to see the converters drop. It's a commodity like anything else, right? You know, so there's hundreds of different grades, and the more you handle them, the more you learn them. I mean, someone like you're looking at this and you're going, they kind of all just look the same. Like, you
Yeah.
don't understand, right? So,
Like, I can't believe you just know, like, what's what.
well, there was a time that I didn't,
Okay.
right? So you learn, right? Like I said, the more you handle them. So I remember asking you earlier about what kind of vehicle you drove, and that's what's on your vehicle.
That's like, I can't believe, like, you
Okay.
you just know.
Like I said, you just learn, right? After handling so many, you just pick it up. So these ones are funny. So these ones, you gotta watch. There's codes. So if you look at it right here, see that code right there? What's that say? Can you read that?
Like J94?
U. So U94. Bless you.
Excuse me. thank
So
you.
U94 is actually it's a bad code.
Really? Why?
It's just because the Toyotas and say Hyundais and stuff like that, they all go by code.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not worth that much, this cat. In terms of money, like if you were to bring this in, I'm gonna give you about $15 for that.
What?
Yeah.
Compared to that one over
But
there for
if you
100.
had the exact same cat with a different code, like a higher grade code, it could be worth up to $80. It all depends on what's on the inside, and that code right there will tell you what's on the inside.
So this is the bad code.
That's a bad code, yeah. So you see how it's rubbed out? We rubbed it out because we bought it, and someone's brought it in, and then you can see that we've just scratched it to make sure that it's not a bad code, which it is.
That's
So that we don't lose money when we're buying them.
Oh my
right?
gosh, yeah, of course.
Because we do buy so many, and if you buy them wrong, you can lose your shirt in a day if someone brings in a load of cats and they're all bad codes, right? So
Oh my gosh, so yeah,
Yeah, as
you
you
gotta
can
be
see.
really careful with that then.
here's a good one here. This is a GM. Okay, so these are typically on Cavaliers and stuff like that. Just a higher motor, right? It's probably aluminum block. So this is what we call as a large flow.
A large flow.
A large flow, yeah. And there's 3 different types. Okay, there's the way to tell the 3 different types is a little bit of a secret, but I'll tell it to you. So if you look inside there, see the size of the holes?
Yes.
Okay, now look on that side.
I can't see anything.
You can't see? Kind of check into the light.
They're bigger.
They're bigger. The holes are bigger on that side than they are on that side, right? Because that's just the way it's designed. So this is what's called the tight loose flow. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so if the holes were the same size, like big and big, it would be a loose flow, which is a little bit less of money.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how much. We'll say the loose one is $70 and the tight one's $90.
That's crazy.
So if you don't know what you're doing and you're buying this as $90 and it's loose, well, you just lost money. You just lost on one cat, and that's a lot of money to lose on one buy.
So you really gotta know.
You really gotta know, and you know, between me and the other guys that we have working here, we really know what we're doing. Like I said, we handle a lot of them. So I mean, in terms of grading, that pretty much sums it up. You know, there's, like I said, every car has a cat on it, and every cat's worth a different value. It just depends on what's coming in the door, right? And some of the trickiest ones are the foreign ones. I mean, GMs and Fords and Chryslers are pretty straightforward. They're all relatively the same. They're the same but different.
Just the same,
right?
A little bit different.
But foreigns is something that really takes a long time. It took me, you know, years.
Oh,
and,
really?
and you never know it all. You learn something new every day. You will never know it all. You always learn something new every day. I'm still learning with the foreigns because there's so many different types. But when it comes to Ford, like I said, and GM and all that, it's pretty straightforward. They're all relatively the same.
Wow. And then, okay, so does every cat always have a code?
Every cat does have a code, right. So depending on who your buyer is, some buyers want to buy by code and some buyers want to buy by piece in a mix load. So it depends on what you're doing.
Really?
So, but every cat does have a code. You just have to find it and kind of just file it down with a wire brush and you will find the code.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never knew a lot of this, so thank you.
No problem. So anytime, next time you want to look around, just show me what you want to see in the yard and we'll teach you about it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem.